Hello everyone.
Good morning. It's Sunday, long run, recovery day.
Yeah, so
Tell you what, Katie, it screwed my head up running a long run on Saturday because I kept thinking it was Sunday yesterday.
Yeah.
Because running is our only time dial out here.
yeah, it tells you what day it is based on the run you've got. But this morning's plan, 4 miles, 2 miles out, 2 miles back.
Yeah, we just spent the first mile sort of debriefing the week, which you'll hear on the podcast. But good week all around. Progress, which is the main thing, isn't it?
Yeah, all good. Later on in the afternoon, we headed to the gym for a strength session. So here's some inspiration for your next workout. Started off with some lateral band walks, and these are a staple exercise for me. Can be part of a warm-up or part of your strength routine as well. They're good for the hip adductors, glute medius, and also improving your hip stability. Now, make sure that you keep tension in the band when you're walking from side to side, and the feet should start about shoulder width apart. You're in a half squat position, and just make sure that you're not sort of like swaying or bouncing too much, really to keep the tension. Next up, leg raises, another exercise for the hip flexors and the glutes. Again, I do around 8 to 10 on each side, 3 times over. I like to put my hand on my hip to stop rotation and keep my body in the right position. You can also do these standing, but I like to do them on the floor just to keep the right muscles stabilized. Next up, clam shells. So we're laying on our side, our knees are bent, band around the thighs, feet together, and you're lifting one knee at a time. Another one for strengthening the glutes and stability in the hips. Normally prescribed by a physio if you've ever been to see one before. The banded squat. So this, by adding the resistance band, you get that extra challenge. Make sure your feet are hip width apart, targeting the glutes, the quads and the hips, but make sure you don't go too heavy with the band because it will push your knees inwards, and that's not what we want. It might lead to injury. So just make sure you pick the right band, keep the heels to the floor, drive the weight through the heels as you push up, and squeeze the glutes nice and tight at the top, engaging the core, flat back. Next, we move on to a bench glute bridge, which is also known as a hip thrust. A great exercise for strengthening the glute and the core. You can also add weights, but if you feel this is not the exercise for you, then you can start off with a sort of floor glute bridge. You want to place your sort of mid to upper back on the bench, push through the heels and squeeze the glutes. Moving on next to the marching knee. So this is where you're marching on the spot, lifting one knee at a time and lifting that as high as you can. Good for both the hips and the knees. And when you flex through the glutes, it helps to focus on your stability and also improving your core and your posture. Putting your hand on your hip or your stomach helps to stabilize as well. Next, we have some bench step ups. Now this is an all-rounder, it's just all good for the lower body in general. I won't go through all the muscle groups, but you focus on one leg at a time. I like to try and keep the leg on the bench, so you're really kind of focusing on that leg pulling you up rather than pushing through the other foot. Really good exercise here for all types of running, and also again can add extra weights for resistance. Moving on to the one leg deadlift. Now it's fantastic for glutes, hips and cores. Make sure you're stabilizing on one leg, weight in the other hand, and then you sort of deadlift from the hips. Fantastic for balance, and really focus on nice and controlled movement, and you can really feel it in that one glute. Next up, we have calf raises or kind of heel drops, obviously working and targeting the calves. Now a lot of lower leg injuries come from this area, so adding in some calf exercises is so fundamentally important to our strength routine as runners. Now you can use machines, but if not, you can use just sort of single leg or double leg calf raises off the floor, and I've also added a weight in here just for extra resistance. Look at that calf pop, look at it go. Also, if you can't do them like this, then just do them whilst brushing your teeth if you're not in the gym. Okay, penultimate exercise, the squat, should be in every runner's routine, and there's so many variations that you can add in. This is why I love this exercise. It's an all-rounder. Here we have the goblet squat, and hello James. Last but not least, we have a exercise for the hamstring ball curl. So you're lying on your back, heels are on the ball, and you slowly just push the ball out. This is really good not only for the hamstrings but also stabilizing the core. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed and can include these in some of your routine in the future.